Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and today's video we'll be taking a look at something a little bit different. And I do apologise for the echo in this room, but it is what it is. But today we're going to be taking a look at a motorised miniature treadmill from Bigzzia. Keep watching to find out more. Okay, so today's video we'll be taking a look at a motorised treadmill. Now, health and fitness is really important, obviously all the time anyway, but even more so now in 2020, going into 2021. Keeping an eye on your fitness levels and keeping active is really important. Lockdowns across the world mean that you can't get out as much as you'd like to, so things like your local gymnasium is pretty much out of the question. So the money that you're going to save from your gym subscription, you could quite easily spend on something like this. So this is the Bigzzia, or Bigzzia Motorised Treadmill. It's got a 1.5 horsepower motor and it is super slim. And just looking at the side of this thing, it is extremely slim. So this means you can store it away nice and easily, maybe underneath a bed, underneath a sofa, anything like that. It's actually pretty lightweight, around about 20 kilos, so not overly heavy to move should you need to move it. And there are wheels on the end, so if you want to, you can just lift up the back end and you can wheel it to wherever it needs to go. All pretty handy. So that's moving it around, very simple to do, very compact. It's unlikely to get in the way unless you obviously got quite a low sofa or you've not got a bed you can slide it under, but you can always leave it propped up against a wall. So storage wise, absolutely fine. So let's take a look at some of the features of it. So as I said, it is a 1.5 horsepower motor, so it means it's got plenty of oomph to get yourself moving. Now, weight limit wise, I'll put some details in the video description below so you can check it out. And also I should give a shout out to Armadadeals who've sent this to us free of charge for review purposes. Now, we're not under any obligation to say anything about it and we're not an affiliate, so if you do choose to get one, we don't make any money from it, but hopefully you'll get some benefit out of it. So let's take a look at the actual unit itself. Now, it's all made in pretty decent quality steel and you've got supporting feet, or wheels rather, at this end, and also you've got this big bar to protect the motor. You've also got cross brace, rubberized feet as well, and also adjustable casters towards the rear, which you can adjust. You can unscrew those should you find the levels not right. Ideally you want to put this onto a flat surface, but it can be adjusted slightly for slightly uneven floors. Easy access to the belt itself, which every now and then you're going to need to put some lubricant on, some silicone. They do actually give you some silicone actually in the pack. You get obviously the treadmill itself. You also get an adjuster, so Allen key and a crosshead, and that is for adjusting the actual plate itself, or if it slips to one side or the other, you can make some adjustments at the rear to try and line things up. All of that is described inside the user manual. So if it's got a slight deviation, you can trim that out, but it does come from the factory fully set up and ready to go. So all you need to do when you get it from the factory is get your remote control. There is a little plastic sleeve in there which you take off to make sure the battery gets connected. So this is your main controller. The unit itself, all it needs to do is plug into a power source, and on the back of the unit there's a on-off switch, which is quite easy to do. So with it off, you can leave it off, leave it connected to the mains if you want to. Main power on, and it goes up and it does its self-test. Now there's loads of sensors in here to detect if the belt's running correctly or if it's overloaded, that kind of thing. If you get any problems, it will be shown on the digital display. So in order to use the machine with the remote control, you've got some various buttons on there. So you've got a power on button. So if you want to, you can leave it plugged in and you don't have to turn the switch at the back. So just press the power button and that turns off. There's a little LED in the top there, which you can see lighting up. So you can tell that your remote control is working. When it turns on, it does its self-test. Then you've got your play and pause button. So the play button starts the treadmill going and the pause button obviously stops it from going as well. You've also got a mode button which switches between the modes on the display, and you've also got a plus and minus for adjusting your speeds. Now speed wise, this starts off at a lowly 1 kilometer per hour in the bottom end and goes right up to a pretty fast 10 kilometers an hour at the top end. So let's take a look at the digital display. So on the digital display you've got your readout. So if we press the play button, you get a countdown, and then the treadmill will whir into action. Now to change your speeds, you just press the plus button and it goes up in increments of half a kilometer an hour. So 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, etc, etc. If you want to stop in an emergency, all you do is press the power button and it will slowly stop, allowing you to get off the unit. And that's it, it's stopped. So let's see how that works actually in practice. So standing on the unit, now obviously I would suggest if you do this, warm up beforehand, and if you've got any trailing cables from your microphone, you want to get rid of those straight away. All you need to do is press the start button. You get a countdown timer, as we've seen before, and it will slowly start off at the 1 kilometer per hour. I would suggest getting used to it. Make sure you feel stable and secure on the device. This is a little bit slow. I'm quite used to this, so it's okay. So all you need to do is to press the plus button and we can ramp things up a bit. So this is now at 2.5 kilometers per hour, which is a relatively sedate walking speed. But if you're just starting out into trying to get fitness, maybe lose a few pounds or just do some calorie control, then this is the way to do it. Now the digital display does actually show things like that. So in the standard setting, it just goes through and it goes through all the individual settings. So to start with, you've got your time. So this is how long you've actually been on your treadmill. Then it goes along to the speed. After that, it jumps along to your distance traveled. And finally, your calories burnt. So if you're into calorie control, then this should do the job for you. So that's at 2.5 kilometers per hour. So around about 3.5 is really where you should be aiming for a relatively good workout. 3.5 kilometers an hour is pretty decent, at least for my personal preference. Now I've pretty much set it so that 3.5 is my kind of warm-up speed, and then we can take it up to around about 7.5, which is kind of like my jogging speed, and then to get a real burn up to 10 kilometers an hour. So let's put it up to 7.5. So this is pretty comfortable for jogging. And we can take it right out the way up to 10. And let's take it back down to 3.5 for our steady walking speed. And already I can feel that my heart rate's gone up and my watch is telling me the same, so definitely getting a good cardiovascular workout. And it's a workout across your whole body, so you're moving your arms, you're moving your legs. If you're taking longer strides, you can work out the glutes, and getting towards the end you can do quick steps, which again are really good for that cardiovascular. But overall it's a really nice little machine. I really love it. It's good to get an exercise. It's not as cumbersome as an exercise bike, and because you don't have all the other kind of bars and all the other stuff going on up here, nice and easy to get rid of when you don't want to use it. So that is the Bigzzia Motorised Treadmill. Again, 1.5 horsepower motor, more than enough to get you moving. Positives that come out of this: really compact, relatively cost saving at the moment in the UK, around about £270. Again, I'll put some links in the video description. Downsides for me would be the power cable, which is a little bit on the short side, so you may need to use an extension cable, but I think that's a pretty minor gripe. For some people, they may find the noise of a treadmill a little bit too much. Personally, I think it's actually fine, and obviously it is a motorized thing. There is a belt and there is friction, so you are going to get some noise from it, so it's not silent, but certainly does do what it's meant to do. So let me know what you think of this in the video description below. If you've got any comments or questions, again, leave those there and I'll try and answer them as best I can. If there's anything I haven't covered in this video, I will leave some links for the website, where to get one of these from, and you can check out the full description. So I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.